All right, TSLA Tesla stock on Friday closed 2% down, 168.47. What I'm watching from here. So you can see this is a 15-minute chart of TSLA. This yellow line on my chart is 50-day simple moving average. So you can see for the week it has downtrended quite a bit, but during a day it didn't give too much of a range for you to trade off of, because most of the move was happening for the most part after market close or pre-market. So let's have a look at on a daily chart what I'm watching for the stock. So last time when we covered this name, we were talking about that the stock went up pretty fast and probability of people who were trapped at these levels selling was pretty high, and potentially maybe even selling at these $200 levels. So almost reached that $200 level, and a lot of call sellers came in, you can see, and we had this huge 2 days of a gap. So gap here, and when stock is downtrending and it doesn't fight through these levels, just like I was talking about on other video, and just goes through up and up through the gaps, those eventually get filled, okay? Because it's not just market, like actual demand, actual like money chasing this name. It was basically, consider it on those headlines, earnings headline and China headline, that short sellers basically covering and putting up the stock up these levels. And anybody who was trapped at these levels previously, who tried to bottom tick this name at these levels, I mean, those people just sold into that move. So this gap, I think this China headline gap filled, but we have a earnings gap. Is it gonna fill? We shall see. But right here, right now, I was looking at the maximum pain for the stock, which is May 17th, very big option expiration date for equities, indices, VIX, everything basically. But 172.50 is the max pain for TSLA, and you can see billions of dollars concentrated on the call side, and most of them are sells. Okay, I don't think that there's that many people who are chasing it to the upside. So this is the performance of Tesla year to date. Still, it is pretty negative actually. Year to date, I think Tesla still 30-something% down, but this is 1 week performance, -7%, 1 month performance, -3.5%, 3 month performance, 6 months performance, 1 year, 2 year performance. Everything is pointing that the stock is still remains in a downtrend. Okay. Another thing I wanted to mention is this stock right here, right now, if I bring up moving averages, holding on to the 20-day SMA, which is this blue line on my chart. That's where it closed. But currently, 200-day, obviously in a downtrend. Ultra short term, I like to watch 5-day, 20-day, and sometimes 50-day as well. So closed below 50-day, which is yellow line on my chart. And you can see if I bring up, let's separate these 5-day and 20-day. So this blue line, 20-day, gray line, 5-day. 5-day, obviously you can see, we can see some sort of a downtrend here. But bullish case here would be, it could be sort of a forming this flag pattern, and it's going to break out. It can run. But it can at the same time chop and do nothing until that expiration date. And also we have a CPI data, a lot of data coming up, and last week was pretty muted week, but despite that, for the week Tesla was down. So it can do that, it can definitely break out, but I would not be bearish TSLA until it goes below 160. Until it goes below 160, then I would, at least the risk reward would be a little bit better, because all of these people who are positive right here, right now, I mean, at least anybody who bought below 170 at these levels, feeling good so far, and anybody who bought at these levels as well, feeling good. We're not going to see any sort of a panic. Panic would start maybe at these levels, and I would watch it drift lower after that. But until 17th of May, My basically best guess is that, yeah, it can touch 160, but it can also go to 180, but it will finish the week most likely at this maximum pain of 172.50. Again, this is just purely my opinion. On Friday, you can see put to call ratio, you couldn't say, but volume was very high. So, which means people sold puts, people sold calls. 47% puts, 53% calls. But it was very highly traded option name throughout the week. I was checking, and they were just rotating between Nvidia and TSLA. Both were pretty much a lot of options sellers, in my opinion. And that's what I'm watching for TSLA going forward for the next week of May 17th. So thanks for watching. See you in the next update.